So how good does your golf swing actually have to be to break 85? Well, what I see time and time again is golfers that expect that to break 85 they need a great golf swing. No. What you need to be able to do is learn how to control your miss. Most of the students that I see, they're on the range, grinding away at their golf swing, working on positions, working on technique, trying to figure out what they've learned from some magazine or some YouTube video, and they're trying to get out here and then apply it and then go on the golf course and it never shows up. I want to show you in this video exactly how you can go about and change the way you practice. So when you actually go to the golf course, your swing that you have on the range will show up on the course. Because isn't that the biggest problem? Most of us can do it on the driving range, but we can't do it on the golf course. And the first thing that we've got to start to understand is we've got to change the way we're thinking about what we expect to do when we're on the driving range. So think about this. Most of us come out here hoping to hit the ball dead straight, hoping to make golf swings and searching for that elusive, perfect ball strike. What I want you to start to do is think about more like riding a bike as a kid. I mean, how does a kid learn how to ride a bike? Do they say, Dad, I just want to go really fast, really straight and never fall off? Of course not. What they do is they fall off to the right, they fall off to the left, they go extremely slow, they don't go in a straight line. They learn how to balance, they learn how to calibrate their mistakes so that they very quickly are learning how to ride a bike. Well, think about this. You may have been playing golf for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and you still don't know how to control your ball flight. You see, we're so focused on trying to get the club in the right position throughout the golf swing that we're forgetting on where we need to learn how to miss the golf ball. What your focus needs to be on the driving range is learning how to miss the golf ball properly. You see, let me just restate this. Missing the ball properly. And what I mean by that is, if there's water on the left, don't go left. And if there's water on the right, don't go right. I mean, think about how simple this is. If I had a tennis racket and I was hitting it right down a driving range, you wouldn't smash one to the left and by mistake be like, what the heck happened? Or smash one down the right and go, what the heck happened? You'd know that the face was going to the right, so the ball went to the right, or the face was going to the left, so the ball went to the left. So what I want to now show you how to do is how to set up for an effective practice session, how to then go out there and start to learn how to calibrate your golf swing so you can take this swing here out on the golf course, and with that, keep the ball in play on every single hole. Keep the ball out of trouble. Keep it away from the short side of the green where you have no chance of getting up and down. And from there, you'll start to actually see that shooting 85 isn't about changing your grip, getting the perfect backswing, hitting it further. It's about learning how to control what you've got. So let's talk about the first mistake that people make. And no, this is not going to be about alignment rods and how you got to line up properly. It's how you misuse alignment rods. Look, most of you probably aren't even lining up on the range. And then if you are, way to go, but you're putting it at your feet. What we've got to start to understand is what is our actual target. So what I want you to learn how to do is either lay a club, all right, or an alignment stake, not at your feet, but where the ball is going. So as I stand back here with you and I look at this now, I can see where my target is. I can see that my target is right between the blue and the green stake, right? There's a white truck down there, I can see it. I've got to understand where the ball should be starting. Because look, here's the thing is, I could stand like this and still hit it straight. I could stand like this and still hit it straight. The point being is that we get so tied up in the correct alignment and doing the right positions compared to what I'm saying is, where's the ball going? We need to know how to miss bunkers on the left when there's bunkers on the left. We need to know how to miss water hazards on the right when there's water hazards on the right. And if you want to consistently break 85, it's about changing the way you practice. So what we're going to do to start with is we're going to have the alignment stake on the ground going right down that line. And what I want you to learn how to do now is swing the club, okay? What most of us are doing is we're hitting. We get to the top and we want to, try and do something special, and we're getting into it and we're having these misses that one is straight hard left and we've got all this dispersion. The reason being is you're hitting at the golf ball, you're not swinging the club. What I want you to do is figure out your miss as quickly as you possibly can. So now that we've got this alignment stake on the ground, here's what I want you to do. I want you to set up with the golf ball. That's a bit broken, that one. And I want you to go ahead and just make a swing. Doesn't matter where it goes. All I want you to go ahead is swing it. Now, what I'll see is a lot of people fall back, or I'll see a lot of people fall forward. And all I'm asking for is your best swings. I've never met you before, most likely, but I'll guarantee you that your best swings are when you hold the finish and you look at it going towards the flagstick. I bet you they look something like this, where you're really happy, right? And you hit it towards that player and you're like, yeah, this is amazing, right? You don't hit great shots from back here. So the first thing we've got to do is learn how to swing the club. Now, once we start to swing the club, we're gonna start to see a miss. So let's just go ahead and say that this player, me, is gonna play a push slice. Horrible shot, I'm sure. Some of you have it, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna swing through to the finish and I'm gonna get the ball to go way out to the right. But you see, I finished with a balanced follow through. I've got to start to build a good golf swing every time I hit it. What frustrates me is when I'll see a player hit a good one, hold the finish, but then set up to one and miss-hit it, and they're already almost back in the bucket before they've even finished, the ball stopped moving. I don't care if you hit a slice or a hook. There is no such thing as a good golf shot or a bad shot. There's a pull, there's a push, there's a hook, there's a slice, there's a thin, there's a fat. These are just factual information. What we do is we tie all this emotion in because we want to hit the ball straight down the middle. I'm telling you, when you come to the range, I want you to explore. I want you to go ahead and make swings and see if you can actually get the ball to start to the right. Okay, good, that one started to the right. Now let's go ahead and try and get one started to the left. Oh, that was a little heavy. We're gonna have to do that one again, a little heavy. Oh, that's terrible. No, I'm gonna just try and hit a little bit thinner, you know, instead of hitting behind it, I'm gonna hit in front of it. To the left, okay? So the idea here is we're gonna come out here and we're gonna start to what's called calibrate. You think about a gun, right? If I'm shooting a gun at you and I'm shooting right now and I shoot the bullet and it goes 10 feet that way, either I can keep shooting and be in trouble because you're going to come at me, or I can aim 10 feet to the right and I can calibrate. So what we're going to do is we're going to start to calibrate our miss. So if we've got a ball that's starting right and going right, we're going to do everything we can now to get it to go left. Now, you might be like, oh, well, I don't know how to. Okay, you've got a tennis racket in your hand. Think about it. You've got a tennis racket, you set up to a tennis racket, you bounce the ball, and you've got to hit it to the left. Well, you're probably not going to do that, are you? You're going to somehow get it around this way. You could take the tennis racket and hood it closed. You could go ahead and make sure that you swing hard to the left. But what I want you to do is, I want you to go ahead and feel this ball go to the left. So for this one, I'm going to close the face down, and I'm going to go ahead and swing until I get a ball to go to the left. And the point being here is, be in a mindset of discovering the golf shot. Make a swing every time, and then start to figure out how you miss it, how you hook it, how you slice it, instead of trying to hit it straight. We're all trying to hit straight. So the beauty here is, as you start to close that face down, that old ball that went to the right will now start to go to the left. You might strengthen your grip. You might drop your foot back. It's up to you now to get creative. Be a kid, right? Look how they do. They'll sit up and go, look how big a hook I'm gonna make. And they'll swing like this and they'll hit these big slinging hooks. My thing to you is we've got to stop trying to hit the ball straight. We've got to start swinging the club to begin with, and then we've got to calibrate. And one of the simplest ways to do that is just do it on a small version. If you can't get the ball to start right with a full swing, do it with a small swing. So watch. Just this is what would have to happen for the ball to go left, to pull and go left. Okay, that was a lot straighter. Just a little bit of left. Can I go more left? And so the thing about this is it becomes fun because you're trying all these different swings. So my goal for you is now to be able to learn how to miss it to the right, learn how to miss it to the left. So now let's go ahead and play. We've got a hole straight down the middle of the fairway. We're on the range here. And we're gonna say you cannot miss it left of the blue. You can do anything you want to the right, but you can't miss it left. Make a golf swing. So as long as you have your face open or your path heading out to the right, you'll miss it to the right. So let's swing through the finish. And perfect, it's out to the right. Now, knowing golf on the next hole, the trouble's to the right. So what you've got to do here is you've got to set up. Maybe you're going to aim left. Maybe you're going to swing left. Maybe you have your club face closed. But I want you to be able to go ahead and set up to the golf ball and ensure that the ball goes left of your target. You see, that's what golf is all about. It's understanding that if I can miss the golf ball where there is no trouble, I'm going to have a lot of success. If I hit beautiful shots, but they turn over to the left and go in a water hazard, even though it looked beautiful and felt good, it's going to be a penalty. So start to change this around, that when you're on the range, you first of all have your alignment stake. You second it, so you know where you're lined up. And when I mean lined up, I mean with the club face where the ball's meant to start and finish. Second of all, you're gonna make a swing through to the finish with balance, okay? And then thirdly, you're gonna go ahead and see where it went. If I just push that one to the right about 5 yards, the next shot, I'm gonna try and push it to the left, pull it to the left 5 yards. If I slice one, the next one I wanna hook. Start becoming intentional about the shots that you're playing, and it will see how it completely transforms your game from the range to being able to get on the golf course focused on targets and shot execution rather than golf swing and thinking. So let's talk basics. If the ball starts to the right, the club face was to the right. It's not rocket science here, people. The ball starts to the left, the face was closed at impact to the target, okay? So if you start to understand that, if that ball that you're hitting is that big power slice, this is what's happening at impact. So it's your choice now. Do you want to shut it down at impact, at address? Because think about it, if you start straight and it opens up at impact, this is what you're doing through the ball. So if you were closed this much and you swung, you'd be there at the ball. You've got to start to understand how to get that face square or closing through impact. I challenge you now to go ahead and just hit golf shots, doing anything you possibly can to have that face close through impact so you can start to get the ball to start left and turn left. So, does it make sense now what I'm saying here? Is that the first thing that we've got to understand is when we just make our golf swing, where does the ball actually start and where does it move to? You know, what is the consistent swing that we're making? Rather than trying to hit the ball or try and think golf swing, just make the move. Repeat that rehearsal. Once you get that balance down, you'll start to realize, okay, I do have a consistent miss. I know you might not like it, but the point is if you can do it every time, it's just a consistent shot. It's not a consistent miss, it's a pull slice. It's a push hook. You know, that's what we've got to start to understand is there's no good or bad shots in golf. Once you've got that, your role is to calibrate. Is to go ahead and do the opposite. If the ball is slicing, let's learn how to hook it. We cannot just figure out how to go straight and to the right. We've got to learn how to go right and left. Imagine driving a car and all you could do is go straight or right. It would take you a long time to get everywhere. You could get there in the end, but it would be very painful. So as you take this to the range the next time, your mindset is not to hit it straight, it's to go out there and start to own your miss. Start to learn how to avoid the trouble, and then from there, calibrate. As you calibrate your golf swing, you'll get more confidence, you'll be able to hit better shots on the golf course, and instead of thinking about positions in the golf swing, you're going to be thinking about positions of where the ball needs to be so you're in a position to score, and that's going to get you breaking 85 every time you play.